What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Dad Needs to Talk. I'm your host, Robert, and today we're talking about a series I have been waiting to talk about for a while called Snowball Earth. Now, this is a sci-fi survival style series whose story and art is done by Yuhiro Tsujitsugu. And from what I can look up, it looks like this might be this author's first series, which I would say, hey, sometimes you have mangaka that come out the gate banging, just like the author of Attack on Titan. That was his first series, and I believe the creator of Freerun, that was her first series. And so sometimes you have these that, hey, these might be some hits at the park. But yeah, so Snowball Earth. Like I said, this is a newer series that started in Japan in 2021, and then I kind of been hearing some rumblings of it over the last couple of years, as far as like whenever like the different publishers and stuff like, oh hey, what are some series that you like to see brought over or picked up or localized or whatever. Snowball Earth kept coming up in the conversation. So finally in 2024 we finally got it, and at this point of me recording, we now have 2 volumes out. Volume 1 came out back in April, and Volume 2 just dropped a couple weeks ago here in July, with Volume 3 coming in October. So, lots of good stuff to look forward to. So, the basic setup for Snowball Earth follows our kind of, I guess we would kind of call them our dual protagonists. This young man named Tetsuo and his trusty robot slash mech, who goes by the name of Snowman, but he also calls him Yukio. But Snowman is like his official name or whatever. And so basically, Tetsuo is the pilot of Snowman, and they met when Tetsuo was 9 years old, and there was this situation going on where like robots were fighting for their rights and stuff like that. And so young 9-year-old Tetsuo bonded with Snowman, and thus basically they started their journey to fight what is known as intergalactic kaiju. So yeah, it's pretty much on a base level, these kaiju from outer space have been coming to Earth or whatever, and over the years, Tetsuo and Snowman have been fighting together to take them out. And so our story pretty much starts off with 10 years later, aka the kind of present timeline or whatever, where they are in space going to face what they think is the kind of like final core of the space kaiju. And those of y'all watching the YouTube version of this double page spread here is the one that I truly, and this was like a few pages in, made me go like, wow, the art looks dope. It's a lot going on. It is like, yo, this looks super dope. And so yeah, so they are basically heading into what they hope and feel is the final battle against the space kaiju and stuff. But things go kind of haywire or whatever, and I'm trying to keep this beginning part spoiler free, but I will get into some deep spoilers in a little bit. But basically, things kind of go haywire or whatever, and then Tetsuo ends up taking an escape pod back to Earth. But the journey is so long; it is a 8-year journey back to Earth from where they were. And when he basically gets back to Earth has pretty much been frozen over, which is now the title Snowball Earth. So basically, it is a new ice age, and so Tetsuo isn't even sure, like, yo, like what happened? What happened while I was away in space all these years or whatever? And so you slowly start to see and get informed of what happened during those years when he was away and stuff like that. And that's kind of like the cool thing that I like about how the story is told in Snowball Earth, is that you kind of get some present day stuff going on, which has a mix of some really fun characters and some lighthearted moments and stuff and adventure. But there are times where things do get dark. People are getting killed. Monsters getting kaiju get sliced and diced. And then interspersed in between those moments, you will get moments where either, like I said in the beginning, Tetsuo was doing a flashback of before they went to this supposed last fight. It flashed back 10 years ago and showed when Tetsuo and Yukio first met and how their bond kind of first started or whatever, and also kind of giving you a base timeline of like how old our MC is, because at the beginning of the manga he is 19 years old, because in the flashback to 10 years ago it is stated that hey, he was 9 years old when him and the robot Snowman, when they first met and formed a team. So it's like, okay, cool, I already got a young adult MC, pretty dope. But then another 8 years to get back to Earth, so now our MC is 27. So I like that, hey, the passage of time keeps moving and stuff like that, and that we're dealing with some mostly young adult characters and stuff like that, people in their like very late teens or somewhere in their early to late 20s and stuff like that. So I enjoy seeing that about the cast of characters and stuff as well. And then as he encounters different people and stuff, once he gets back to Earth and starts kind of like, okay, there are still some survivors and stuff, whatever, you slowly get some bits of information of like, yo, this is what happened while you were away. And you kind of basically find out, without getting too deep into it yet, that pretty much crap hits the fan like literally right after he left the planet almost and stuff. So, and the situation that led to the Earth getting frozen over and stuff. So, but yeah, so on the base level, that is the core crux and plot of Snowball Earth. It is this young pilot forming a bond with this robot, going into space to fight these space kaiju, then coming back to a ice planet, Earth being in a new ice age basically, and then him trying to piece together what happened, and then all the different factions and different things going on, trying to survive and potentially trying to reclaim the planet back from the kaiju and stuff. So yeah, so that is Snowball Earth on a super basic level. And like I said, like the art and stuff looks pretty dope. Like I said, especially like when you get like those double page spreads, like I said, like the action and the robots fighting the kaiju and just different stuff going on, it is super dope. But now I'm gonna transition a little bit more into some a little bit deeper details on some bigger plot points that are going on. So I'm about to dive into some spoiler stuff. So hey, if what I have said so far has your interest, then hey, go read Snowball Earth. Like I said, it is out right now. 2 volumes out officially by Viz. So pick those up, with volume 3 coming in a few more months. So diving into some actual specific spoilers and plot stuff, whatever. So what I mentioned earlier about like the story going a little bit darker than what I initially thought or whatever, but I'm welcome to whatever, is like at the very beginning they're going to fight these kaiju or whatever, and I'm still very curious to know like what happened. Why did all the equipment on the ship malfunction? And then like when, once again, spoilers, when the ship gets destroyed and their whole crew and stuff are, gone, I am like, yo, okay, we not playing no kiddie games or whatever. It's like, no, this is literally fight for survival. And then the moment where Snowman sacrifices himself and then ejects an escape pod and sends Tetsuo back to Earth or whatever, that was like a crazy moment. And I love that panel of him exploding or whatever, and then like his head and stuff flying through space, and he's giving like a final thumbs up as Tetsuo is flying away in the escape pod. But that moment was super crazy. I also didn't expect the 8-year time jump of like, okay, hey, I'm back on Earth. Man, I was in cold sleep for 8 years, and then the moment when he pops out of the pod, and then it's like, all right, let's see what's going on. He's just like fantasizing about all this stuff. Like, man, I'm gonna have to, figure out like, oh, what is all the new trends and everything, whatever going on, and then he pops his head out, only to discover that Earth is pretty much being destroyed, and that it is just like a new ice age and stuff. But I'm glad that his robot buddy is still around. He downloaded his data into the escape pod, and so it's basically kind of like going back to the roots of when they first met, of him being like a smaller robot, and he got the data downloaded to it. So now, the interesting thing that happened in Volume 2 is we start getting more insight and looks into the current state of the world, who are the different players in the mix, whatever, and we start to get some bits and pieces of story of, aside from Tetsuo back in the day, there was also an initiative to recruit other kids and stuff to be trained up and brought up under him and stuff like that or whatever. And so we kind of get that, what do they call the Light of Erd faction popping up, and then the young lady we meet named Ao, I don't know how to pronounce it, but Ao, at the school or whatever, and finding out that like she kind of gives the information of like, yo, after you left or whatever, this kaiju emerged from the ocean that was more humanoid like, unlike all the rest of the kaiju that they had seen, and he had these giant ice balls or whatever. That's kind of what led to the quick dismantling of humanity and everything being frozen over. And then you slowly start to see like, oh, there's more different looks and variations of kaiju and stuff, whatever. And then you also start getting the bits and tidbits of, there are now kaiju tamers and people that are working in tandem with these different kaiju variants, and they have different powers and different abilities. And it is like, yo, you really start to kind of get the wheels turning in your mind of like how crazy things might get, cause the young lady Ao, the one who's on the cover of Volume 2, and I love how they kind of hinted it with the color scheme of the volume, of how her and the kaiju that she works under deals with flames and fire, and that's how they have been surviving at that school, is because the kaiju that she works with is kind of like a flaming bird kaiju, and she also has like pyrokinesis and different things like that, and like it sleeps underneath the school, thus giving everybody there some warmth and stuff, whatever. But then you run to, like I said, this Light of Earth faction who are also kaiju tamers, and one of them having a freaking kaiju that can teleport and different stuff like that. And so yeah, it is just, I am happy that I waited until Volume 2 to do this kind of like discussion and review and stuff, whatever, because now it really, because like I said, like Volume 1 was really dope on its own, but now we're getting all these extra elements. We're kind of learning a little bit more about the backstory of what happened while Tetsuo was away from Earth and stuff. And then, like I said, again, the introduction of these kaiju timers and stuff like that. So, but yeah, all in all, I'm really liking this, and I'm liking the setup, and definitely looking forward to seeing how all this stuff is going to pan out and stuff in the times to come and stuff. So, but yeah, it seems also like, hey, there's a possibility that some of these characters are not safe. Because like I said, like the kaiju getting sliced and diced, people getting crushed and stuff. But like I said, they do a nice job of mixing things up with these characters and with the different situations and stuff that are going on. But yeah, so Snowball Earth, like I said, I kind of want to keep this fairly short and sweet or whatever, just to kind of introduce what the series is about, and then like I said, kind of share my thoughts on some of the events and stuff that's been happening, whatever. But I am definitely excited for what's to come with this series. And like I said, I definitely wanted to do this just to kind of like get more attention of the series out there, because like I said, it's still a fairly new series. I think they are 7 volumes deep in Japan and stuff. So it's good to see that the manga stuff is still going pretty strong over there. And I can definitely see this be one of those top candidates within the next 5 years. I could see getting an anime and stuff, just like stuff like Gachi Akuda is, that just started a couple years ago, but it's got an anime coming next year and stuff like that. So I definitely look forward to seeing where Snowball Earth goes from here. But yeah, so that's it for that. Thank you as always for watching and or listening. As always, you can find me everywhere at Danny's to Talk for all your discussions surrounding not just manga, but fatherhood and family, anime, TV shows, and video games. And let me know down below, like, what y'all think. Have you already checked out Snowball Earth? Had you even heard of it? And if you have, let me know your thoughts on the series, because like I said, this is one that I definitely feel like is worth keeping an eye on. But with that being said, I'm going to pop out, and I will catch you on the next one. Y'all be easy. Peace.